Hello, welcome back to our channel. We are here to show you how to change the rear wheel bearings in your F150. Now this vehicle is a 1994, but I think a lot of the years are the same. I'll have it in the description below what years is the same. Maybe your vehicle's the same. Let's dig into this and let's figure out how to do this job the easy way. Now you're probably asking yourself, what for tools do I need to do a job like this? I'll put it all in a list in the description below. Okay, now that we got the tire out of the way, that way we can get to that. We want to use our floor jack or the jack under the hood of the truck, whichever works best for you. And we want to put one of these jacks on either side. That'd be a good spot for it. Since we're on the dirt, we want to put something solid, otherwise the jack will go down in the dirt. Well, we have the one side jacked up. Release the parking brake so the wheel will turn freely. What do you do before you do that? Because you don't want this vehicle running away if you're on any type of incline. As you start watching this video, you're probably asking yourself, how do I know I need to change the bearings in my rear wheel? Well, maybe you're only changing the seal. If that's the case, you probably notice oil leaking out. That's the main indicator for a seal. But a bearing, easiest way, just shake the truck back and forth and you hear it going clunk, 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 clunk. That's one indicator. I couldn't get it on video very well so that you could understand myself, but hear this? Next, we'll use a flat-headed screwdriver and get rid of those nuts holding the hubcap on. There's 3 of them. There we go. You getting the lug nuts off? Oh, the wheel's turning. What do we do there? Put it in gear or put on the parking brake. So now the lug nut, the wheel won't turn because we stuck it in 5th gear. 1st gear didn't work, did it? But it's 5th gear or reverse. Now you got all the lug nuts off. Stick them in the hubcap that you didn't need to take off after all, right? And then pull off the wheel. When we look at this wheel, it don't look like there's oil leaking. But with this vehicle sitting for the last 9 years, not being run more than 500 miles, it's just a matter of time that this seal would leak. Okay, now this drum should come off. Right here is where it's going to come apart at. Twist it back and forth and pull on it. Be careful, don't come back and hit you. Yep, there, it's coming off, it's coming off. Maybe go like this as you're pulling as well. I feel like the top's out further, and that's why, because look how long the lug here is, short it is here. See, there's brake pads inside there pushing out against it, and it's on a spring. Now we gotta unloose the differential cover on the back.
Isn't oil gonna come out? Is there any way?
Yes.
Should we?
We need the oil pan. We need an oil pan under here. You're gonna have a mess that you're not gonna want to work with. Levi wouldn't continue taking them out till you get an oil pan under there. But we need 13mm socket or a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is standard. Okay, now that we got the oil pan here, thank goodness Levi, you thought of that, or we would have had a terrible mess. There is a couple here, I believe, that the bolts would be a little bit longer. Maybe that bolt you just took out a little longer. Maybe this one here for this bracket here, the bolt might be a little bit longer. I'm not sure, but if there's any longer, you got to mark it so that you make sure you get those back in the right hole. Go ahead and take the bolts all out now that we broke them all loose. Are you asked the reason why we have to get in here?
Well, you said earlier that that's how you get that other point.
You got to get the hub pulled out, the axle pulled out of this. There's a shaft.
That one's not loose
There's a shaft inside the axle, and there's a clip in here that holds that axle in place. Okay, we got the bolts all out. Now try to pry that off. You smell that?
Oh yeah, now I can.
Okay, I think you get most of it out, isn't it? Gear oil stinks to high heaven. Okay, now we need to turn this because this bolt screws into a hole inside this pin. and we have to take that pin out so we can get clips out so we can pull the axle out. It's easier. You can either turn the drive shaft, or go over here and turn this wheel, or go over there on that side. That side's probably the easiest to turn. Okay, keep turning. We want this turned down just a little bit more. We got this situated where we want it. We want it right about there. And 8mm is what you want to use, and we want to take this bolt out. Oh, that's tight. It is tight. I feel like it's gonna strip. It did break loose, but I was nervous there for a second. 8mm. You're gonna bring that bolt out. And there's the bolt. You notice something? That bolt is really short. When you look across here, from here to the pin, it is much longer than that. So guess what? It broke off! Oh man, what do we do? It broke off. Don't you love it when things don't go right? This is awful. But guess what? We got a cure for it. Have you seen some of my other videos when I did the brakes on my wife's SUV? If you didn't, go up and click on this button up top. I'll show you how you get that bolt out. That way we don't have to do it on this video. So now we can move on to finishing our job. Changing the seals and the bearings in the rear wheels. So now take yourself a magnet like this. Grab a hold of that and see if it'll come out. There it comes. It came right out. How easy that was. To recap of what we did here, we pulled this bolt out when we had broke, which we ended up getting it out. And then we took out this pin that goes the whole way through to hold everything together. Now we need to get to down inside here on either side, this side and over here on this side. There's C-clips that hold the axles on. Push over here on the hub. Push in towards the center so that you can pull out that clip. All right, now push the shaft my way. There, now we see it. I'm gonna use my wrench here. There's a clip right there behind it. Not here where that gear is, but that clip, but it's facing the wrong way. So somehow I gotta turn it around. Use my little 8mm. Yep, see how it's turning around? Pushing on it, and there you can see the top half of it. There, the clip come off. See, here it is. Whoops, down in the oil. There's what it looks like. So Levi, go ahead and pull on the hub. Okay, you're pulling it out. Go ahead and pull it out. So you're wiping it off. And that's what the ends where the clip was on, holding it in. Wipe it all down and inspect it. Make sure everything looks good. Okay, now that we got the shaft out, this is what it looks like. So how are we getting this seal out, Levi? Go ahead and pry on it if you can get it out. There, popped right out. Took a little bit of elbow grease. Wipe this out and get rid of some of that rust. How do we get this bearing out? That is the million-dollar question. Well, we have a solution. We got a tool. Where do you get the tool? You can either buy one, which I don't recommend, or you can go rent one, which means buy one at the local store that they use for rentals, and you have 90 days to bring it back, otherwise you own it. This is the tool, million-dollar tool. So what we want to do is, now there's several different types of these. This just so happens to be the one that they had. This is the 3 attachments, which is what makes it, is the key. And you slide that in there, and basically what you want to do is find one, see the bearing, the back side of the bearing hooks onto here. And so does that look like that's the right size, Levi? No. Let's try the next size. which is this one. You think that would be the right size? Maybe. Maybe.
Let's try the other one.
Let's try the third one just to make sure. And here's the third one. Nope, that won't work because he won't fit in. This, the medium size one. So what we'll do is we turn it this way till you get it in there and go behind like that. And then we want to take this is called a slide. Put that on there like this. I'll hold this one there, twist that one there. Run it in the whole way, that way it's good. All right, that's good, that's good. You want to hold it horizontal and hold it right here with one hand. Okay, and you want to make sure it's square with that. You're up a little bit high, you want to be down so it's the same level as the axle. And then this here's your friend. You go up like that and you want to pull back hard, and that gives it an outward force. And so, and basically it's going to take that bearing and pull it out. So go ahead. It's coming. See it coming? Huh?
I'm scared it's gonna come flying out.
Well, it will.
Yeah, but I
But
don't.
keep going. There it came out. It is out. So what we want to do is go in here and clean this all out. Where this bearing seats. Take a look to see what that looks like inside there. You want to double check, make sure the new bearing is the same as the old bearing. Now, I'm sure you probably did some research. Some of the vehicles, trucks have seal and a bearing combination that you push in. Ours is not like that. Here's it's the same bearing. Now you're probably asking what bearing did I use? I'm using National. There's a reason for it. I would pick a bearing that's made in the US because they are better and they last longer. And this one here, if you look on here, the part number does say made in USA. And that's the part number, which I will go ahead and put that in the description below as well if you want to use the same bearings. Now you can save $5 and get a China made bearing, but you know what, you might have the opportunity to do this job a second time, which that's okay. Okay, before you set this bearing in here, you want to lube it up good. Put a little bit of oil on there. You gotta lube it up all the way around. The way it slides in there nice. Stick it in there like that. So the key is pound this in evenly the whole way around. And how do you do that? Well, you can rent a little cylinder to put on there and hit on the end. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this little option and try to pound it in this way. See how it's going in there? You got to make sure it's going in evenly. Hear how that sounds? You know it's bottomed out. Now got a little bit of dirt in here from pounding that in. Try to get out as much of that dirt as you can. And then we got a seal. This is what holds in the oil from leaking out. So we want to do the same thing. Put a little bit of oil on here. Lube it up. Now some people use the RTV sealant.
Do you know which way that's supposed to go in?
Yeah, which way is it supposed to go in? Should it go in like this?
That's not how the other one was.
Or does it go in like this?
That's how the other one looked.
Then that's probably the right way. Now I did stick some oil on this so it slides in, but some people put the RTV sealant around the outside, put it in. I don't really think it matters. Some people think putting that on there helps keep it from leaking. But we'll do the same thing with this as well. You'll put this in, stick it in here like this, and then you just tap it in evenly the whole way around to kind of get it started. Let's see if this would work.
You better not break my seal.
There. Starting to go in.
That's in the hole.
And double check it, make sure it's in straight. Stick a little bit of oil around this seal, so when we put that shaft in, we're going to try to keep the shaft in the center so it's not rubbing against it. So we'll pick this axle up like this and slide it in. Be careful, try to go it in the center, hold it up with your one hand. Alright, now you have to turn the axle a little bit one way or the other so the splines line up, and it should go right in. Is it in the whole way? Can you see the groove?
Yep.
Okay, so now we'll pick up this clip and stick it down in there and put it right over top and slide it right back in where it was. Now we got to do the other side. So now we got to do it, but we're not going to put you through it. We're not going to put you through that one more time. No way. Okay, after we got that clip in, make sure this pin here, this pinion pin, is all cleaned up. Take note that hole there needs to be lined up with that screw there. So we'll stick this up in there. It's still lined up good, which I'm sure you were careful before not to move the axle. We got that in. It is a good idea to put a brand new one of these in. You might be asking why, because the last one broke off. This is a cheap part. It's only $5.99 on Amazon, or $4.99. And this already has Loctite on it. If you get one that don't have that on it, make sure you put some thread locker on, which I'll have that in the description as well. And you just stick it up in there, put that in, and use our 8mm wrench. And we want to go ahead and tighten that back up. And as it's getting tighter, you can feel that Loctite catching. Just make sure it's snug and tight. Next, we just kind of wipe it off if you got a little bit of dirt in here somehow. Go up in here, clean out this oil that was laying in the bottom, because you're going to be putting in new oil. Take a putty knife or a flat screwdriver. Make sure you clean off all this old gasket material. Work your way the whole way around and clean that all off good. And then take a rag and make sure this is all wiped clean the whole way around and dry. Now I'm using some of this. It's ultra gray gasket maker, and it's the high torque version. And so you just go ahead and squeeze some of that all the way around. Make sure you go around the holes. Okay, now we need to get this cleaned. There, look, there's some of the sealer that went on the inside. I want to get that off. There, you can see how that old sealant is there. Just make sure that's all nice and clean. And then wipe all the old oil inside here out. Now we go ahead and set this back on there.
Wrong way.
Huh?
Wrong way.
Wrong way? It was upside down. And go ahead and put this on here and line up the bolts.
Yep.
Okay, I got all the bolts in. Now you might have an impact or a cordless drill. I choose not to use that because most likely you don't have one either. And then just go ahead and tighten them all up. Actually, it might be easier doing it like this, quicker. handy dandy torque wrench, which is very inexpensive. I have a link in the description below on it as well, and it's set up for, would you say 35?
I think it's at 30 right now.
30 foot-pounds. And then we'll just go ahead and torque these. And if you don't have a torque wrench, I don't think it's a big deal. And you want to crisscross. There. Then we'll check them all. And that is that. So what's next?
Put the oil in it.
We gotta put the oil in it. It's the most important part. Man, if you forget to put the oil in, you're gonna have a world of problems coming your way.
And a lot of money in the bank.
A lot of money. I'm using, in case you're wondering, a breaker bar. It's a 3/8 breaker bar out of a kit. It was very inexpensive to buy, and I think it was the best thing I invested in because I break the wheels loose on the lug nuts, and it has 3 or 4 different breaker bars in it, and this is the 3/8 one, which fits this drain plug. And there's what it looks like. And let's see what the end looks like here. Is there a magnet on there? I think there is. And there wasn't much on it, which tells me that differential was good. There's a little bit of real fine stuff. Set this to the side a little bit. Get ourselves Valvoline Advanced Gear Oil. And I'm using a 75/90 weight. You might be asking, why use the bag? Why not use the bottle? The bag might be a little more expensive, but what's going to happen is this is why. Go ahead and cut the end off. You can tuck this right in the hole here and squeeze it all in until you get the whole bag crunched up like that. There's 1 quart. Another quart, please. So we got 1 end so far. You might be asking, well, how much do I know how much to put in? Is there a dipstick? No, there's not a dipstick. You put it in until it starts running out. But you probably still want to have an idea how much to get, how much to buy. It takes 2.5 quart to fill this up.
Per hour, 8.8.
Yeah, for our 8.8. I'm not sure what the 9.6 or the other one, or 9.8. I'm not sure what it takes. But this one takes 2.5 quart. This one here, you only put half of it in. Just so you know, I did put all the items in the description below that we used. All the tools, the oils, and everything. You can see now it's actually kind of running out. So this one here, I only put a half full.
Sure that's full?
I am almost certain that that's full, but I'll double check. Actually, it took all 3 quarts.
Now it's starting to run out.
I put all 3 quarts in, and you can see that it's actually running over. That's how you know how much to put in. And then we'll go ahead and put this plug back in. But first, and we'll want to put just a little bit of this gasket sealer on here. That way it don't leak onto your garage floor. And I'm sure there's a torque value on this, but it's not a big deal. Just tighten it like you would your engine oil drain plug. There we go. And then wipe this off so it's not dripping. Now that you have the oil in and drain plug back on, I will put the brake drum back on. Line up the lugs and make sure you don't get your fingers down inside there. That would be awful. Now if you have a rubber mallet, that make it a little bit easier. We don't have one. And then line up the wheel. Yep, it's easier. You tuck that in underneath first and then put it up. Lug nuts all go on. And what do they get torqued to?
100 foot-pound.
And then using our handy dandy torque wrench,
I want to put the parking brake on.
we want to go ahead and torque these. But first, the wheel's going to spin on you. So let's put on the parking brake or put it in gear, or drop the truck down so that it gets close to tight to the ground.